What's up, everyone? Justin here, back with a new countdown show. Check out my countdown playlist where I have a ton of videos. Ton of countdown videos, I believe like over 100. Or over 70s. Or maybe over 50. A lot of countdown videos to watch. Pretty soon, or maybe in 2023 in January, I will do my, maybe at the end of December. I'm not sure when. I'm going to do these videos because I don't got time every day to do videos I want to do of ideas I got up here or down on paper. But, yeah, pretty soon I'll be doing a countdown on my top 50 movies of the 1990s. The 80s had a ton of great movies, action and horror, even comedies. But the 90s did too. Horror was not so great in the 90s, in my opinion, at all. The best thing in 90s horror was probably Scream. That was it. You want to be shocked? Right now, I'll shock you. I've never watched Scream. I've never seen the original Scream. I've never watched the whole thing. I've seen a lot of parts and like clips. I know the killer, Ghostface. I know basically the whole concept in the whole movie, but I've never watched it, ever. I have watched Scream 3 and I think 4, but I've never seen the original Scream. If you want to be shocked, there's a shocker. And I love horror. But Scream, I don't really care about. Anyways, this is a wrestling-related countdown. My top 10 greatest baby faces of all time. Now, I hope I didn't already do this video. I think I did a top 10 greatest heels of all time. But this is top 10 greatest baby faces in wrestling of all time, in my opinion. At least of me watching. And I've been watching since 3 years old, 1987. I'll be right back. I'm going to check my YouTube channel on my tablet to see if I did a best of baby faces already, because I may have and I just fucking forgot. I'll be right back. So I got the list of my countdown videos that all of them I've ever done. It's 144 since I started my YouTube in I think 2015. In like April 2015. So yeah, I got top 10 ECW pay-per-views. Top 5 worst world title reigns. Top 5 women I wanted in the WWE Hall of Fame at the time. So, top 5 War Games matches. Top 5 underutilized talents by WWE. The video thumbnail is Gail Kim, if you can see it right there. Yeah, Gail Kim definitely was underutilized. Top 5 Macho Man matches. Top 10 biggest fails in WCW. Top 10 biggest fails in WWF, WWE. Top 5 wrestling factions. Hopefully I did not do a top 5 or top 10 baby faces. Top 5 best big men. Top 5 bloodiest matches. Top 10 wrestlers of the 80s. Top 5 matches of the 90s. I mean, I don't know why I said top 5 matches of the 90s. The 90s had way more than 5 matches that were great. Let me just look here if I did best baby faces countdown. Or whatever, greatest baby faces. I don't see it yet. I did a top 10. This was an interesting show. If you want to go back to my countdown playlist, I'll watch my top 10 failed jumping ship moves in wrestling. Guys that jump ship to a different company and their runs were fails, basically. Lex Luger was one of them. He jumped and he was a narcissist. Not a bad gimmick, but his run was a fail because he never won the WWF title. Top 20 favorite wrestling DVDs that I have, I did a long time ago. My God, I've done so many shows. So many countdowns. I forgot how many I've done. Top 5 worst debuts in wrestling. My top 5 worst wrestling DVDs I own that suck. But somehow I bought them anyways when I was like 18, 19. Top 10 worst pushes in wrestling. Top 10 worst wrestlers. Great Khali's a thumbnail because he was not good. There he is. Top 10 people I hated in wrestling. Vince Russo is a thumbnail. Yes. Top 10 best gimmick matches. Top 10 worst gimmick matches. I don't see any top 10 greatest babyfaces yet. I did a top 50 favorite wrestlers countdown. I also did a countdown on my top 30 movies of the 80s. 3 parts, that is. Top 30 movies of the 80s, part 1, part 2, and part 3. So, yeah, I did top 20 favorite all-time SNL cast members. Top 5 Oscar matches in NXT. Top 20 worst wrestling names for wrestlers. I'm going to look here. I'll be right back. I'm going to check. I didn't do a greatest Babyfaces countdown. So I looked through my countdown playlist. I did not find a greatest or top 10 or top 5 Babyfaces video. So before I start, my last few countdown videos were last year, top 10 holiday and holiday horror movies. Watch that countdown. Also top 17. There's a lot more than 17, but this was last year or earlier this year. Top 17 greatest video games I ever played or own. Watch that. And my last countdown video was top 10 greatest whack Packers in Howard Stern show history. What's up, everyone? So I just went on the video to see what month I did the last countdown. And yeah, if you didn't know about me, I love Howard Stern and I'm a big super fan of the Howard Stern show. So that video, top 10 greatest whack Packers video countdown I did was 9 months ago. There it is. There's a video. So yeah, 9 months ago was my last ever countdown video. Not ever, but my last countdown that I did was 9 fucking months ago. Let's get to it. Top 10 greatest babyfaces in wrestling ever, in my opinion, at least since I've been watching. Number 10. The guy was loved. He was a hated heel. One of the best heels ever in the 80s. But he went babyface. And he became beloved. Is a babyface also. He turned babyface in 87. Or 86. I think. I'm trying to think. Before 87 maybe. But what, my God, he was just a great babyface and beloved. And he was babyface from like 87 until the end of his career. He was always cheered, always loved, always got a big pop. Who am I talking about? Number 10, Rowdy Piper, the Hot Rod. The guy was one of the greatest baby faces. One of the greatest. That's why he's on my top 10. Even when he came back and did the retro, or not retro, but old school Raw with where he did Piper's Pits, and that Piper's Pit with John Cena before Survivor Series, I think 2011. Or whatever Survivor Series year that was, where Piper had John Cena's guest. John Cena's part of Nexus, but he didn't want to be. Piper is great in that segment with Cena. He was so great. I might watch that back tonight on Peacock. I know it was an old school Raw from November 2010 or 11. So number 10. Greatest baby faces, Rowdy Piper. Number 9, HBK Shawn Michaels. In 1996-95, he was so fucking over as a baby face. Even when he returned in 2002, he was still really over. HBK was so fucking over. In 95, 96, even 97. And when he came back in 2002 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, he was still over. Really over. Number 9, HBK Shawn Michaels. He was also a great, pretty damn good heel. Number 8, the only female on my countdown of greatest baby faces, my only female on it. Number 8, Bayley as a hugger. When she's in NXT, she was so fucking over as a babyface. She had everybody behind her. She was like never booed. She came to the main roster. She was still pretty fucking over. That first time she was called up, I think, and she teamed with Sasha. I think it was Extreme Rules. I don't remember the name of the show. But Bayley is a hugger gimmick. She was so over as a babyface. And now she's a heel. And she's so great as a heel. As a leader of Damage Control. Number 8, Bayley as a hugger. In NXT. Not on the main roster. Because she was not that over. With the main roster crowd as a hugger. She was a lot better as a heel on the main roster. Because the fans in NXT loved Bayley as a hugger. Main roster fans didn't give a crap about her. I did, but not as much as when she was in NXT as a champion and going after the title. Number 7. Greatest baby faces. He was not around that long, but my God, he was fucking super over as a baby face. He's part of WCW, made his debut in WCW, was one of the most over original homegrown talents WCW created and ever had that became this over of a star that they created. From a guy that they did not get from Vince and sign. Number 7, Bill Goldberg. Goldberg. The fans loved him. They ate it up. His gimmick. Get in the ring, he'd kick ass for a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes. He'd destroy his opponents, spear, jackhammer, and it would be over. And it was fucking awesome. Sadly, I never got to go to a WCW live event to see Goldberg. But I did see him in WWE in 2003. And he was pretty over there. Or he was still over in 2003. But not like he was in WCW in his prime. Goldberg, the streak, defeating Hogan at the Georgia Dome. Goldberg sold out the fucking Georgia Dome. 45 to 40,000 people bought tickets to see Goldberg defeat Hogan and win the world title. And he did. I still believe that should have been on pay-per-view. Hogan, Goldberg for the title. Should have been at Bash at the Beach or fucking Halloween Havoc or Starrcade, not on a Nitro, but they were ahead of themselves in a ratings war. Monday Night Wars, they thought they had to win the night, and they probably did win in the ratings that night, I think. When Goldberg defeated Hogan, it was huge. And WCW was getting their ass kicked in the ratings by June and July 98. They were still getting great ratings, trust me. But they were not winning anymore. My opinion, WWF had the better product in 98. A lot better. Anyways. 97, I still love WWF. And I thought they were better, but that's because I'm a WWE guy and I grew up watching them first. But 97, you could say WCW is better. And they probably were. But WWF was still doing good shit in 97. Austin Brett at WrestleMania 13. Ken Shamrock came in. That was great. And others, The Nation was great in 97. And DX started. But this is not about who was better in 97. This is not a countdown of what company was better. This is top greatest babyfaces. Number 7, Goldberg. He was so over as a babyface. And then stupidly, my God, WCW was so stupid. In 2000, you tried to turn him heel. Did not work. That was horrible. He speared Kevin Nash at Great American Bash 2000 and then hugs Russo and Bischoff. That was horrible. Nobody wanted to see that. I didn't. Number 6, greatest babyface. Part of a legendary all-time great tag team that probably had their final tag team match ever last Sunday. Number 6, one of the greatest babyfaces, Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express. Such a great babyface. Just had the crowd behind him, had the women behind him. He was such a great babyface, great at selling, too. Such a great seller. Number 5, you could say this guy was super over in 2 totally different gimmicks. He was super over as a babyface. In my opinion, one of the greatest baby faces is Surfer Sting. Flat top, Surfer Sting, the bright colors, the different color outfits, the different color jackets. He was one of the greatest baby faces as Surfer Sting also. He was one of the greatest baby faces as a Crow Sting also. The guy didn't speak. Sting, as a Crow, did not speak for well over a year. And he was still super over and cheered. He didn't have to say anything. Just had to come to the ring, kick ass, kick the NWO's ass, beat the hell out of them with his baseball bat, come down from the ceiling and beat up people. So number 5, Sting. One of the greatest baby faces of all time. Still to this day, 2022, Sting, to me, is still fucking super over and loved. Number 4, greatest baby faces. Number 4, now we're in the top 4, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I see on my shelf here, I got a Stone Cold shirt. Gotta pull it out. It's not Austin. I do have the original Austin 316, but I don't know where that is right now. This is just one of my Stone Cold shirts. It's so old, it has WWF logo. The Attitude Era logo down there. But still not a beat up shirt. Still fits. Here's the back. Austin 316 in blood. So I'm trying to think. I believe I have 2 or 3 Stone Cold shirts. Not that many. But the guy was one of my favorites of all time in 97 and 98 for sure. Even 99, he was one of my favorites. So, my God, Stone Cold Steve Austin was so over as a babyface. So over. One of the most over baby faces of all time. He's up there with Hulk Hogan in the 80s. Stone Cold Steve Austin, I thankfully, very grateful I got to see him live in his prime many times. Saw him in 97. Once or twice. Saw him in 99 against The Rock at a house show. It was sold out. 20,000, 18,000 people for a fucking house show. On a Saturday or Sunday night. It was insane. Austin versus Rock. March 99. I'll never forget that. And then, I've seen Stone Cold a lot. Live at events. I saw him in No Way Out 2002. I've seen him on Raws when I've been to Raws. And I can't imagine the pop he got at WrestleMania 38. I wish I was there. I'm sure the pop was insanely very loud. And he deserves it. The guy's one of the greats of all time. Number 4, greatest babyface, Stone Cold Steve Austin, number 4. He's so great, he's in the top 5 in my opinion. Number 3. Never, ever, ever, this guy has not worked heel. Everyone else did. Everyone else has worked heel on my countdown except for Ricky Morton did work heel in 91. But, Sting also, I'm trying to think when Sting was a heel. I think it was in TNA. Kind of, he was a heel. I'm not really sure, but maybe Sting wasn't a heel. But he kind of was. I don't know. I don't really remember. But this guy never, ever was a heel. Never did anything bad. Never did any type of heel tactics ever. One of the greatest baby faces of all time. One of the greatest workers of all time. One of the greatest at selling of all time. Former world heavyweight champion. Won it in 1989 off Ric Flair at Chi-Town Rumble 89. Number 3, greatest babyface. Number 3, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Here's his original figure. Right there. There it is. It's pretty beat up and dirty. But there he is. Does not really look like him. Looks like Bruce Lee. Like, seriously, he's got dust and hair on him. But seriously, look at him. Looks like Bruce Lee. That's not Ricky Steamboat. But whatever. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Number 3. One of the greatest baby faces of all time for sure. Number 2. John Cena. He could be number 1 for sure. I mean, I was really sick of Cena as a face after 2007 or 8. I was sick of him. I was like, or maybe even 2006, I was sick of Cena as a champion and the top babyface, a top guy. But looking back on it, Man, I appreciate John Cena so much and what he did. He was a fucking workhorse. Never missed any shows. My God, he was just a face of the company. He did everything for the company. Did everything for his fans. Nice guy, great guy, inside, outside the ring. I don't know anybody, maybe some fans might have bad things to say about John Cena. I never will. I think he's a great guy. Inside, outside the ring, on the silver screen, on HBO Max. My God, in Suicide Squad 2, Peacekeeper, he's great. He's fucking great as Peacekeeper. So great. He's fucking hilarious. I love that show. Peacekeeper Season 1 was so great. Seriously, watch it. Even if you're not a fan of DC Comics or anything, John Cena was just great as a Peacekeeper. He was so great at playing Peacekeeper, and hopefully we get a Season 2 very soon. I think next January or 2023 or 2024 we get a new Peacekeeper season. But my God, John Cena, number 2, one of the greatest baby faces of all time. Yes, he was booed a lot. The kids loved him. The women loved him. The guys booed him. But seriously, I appreciated John Cena as a heel. Not as a heel. I wish he would have turned heel, but he never did. But I appreciate John Cena and his baby face run. It was pretty good. I appreciate everything he's done for the company. That's what I'm trying to say. The guy will do anything and did everything for WWE. He promoted it and he worked his ass off. His life was WWE 24/7. Seriously, he did have a wife, but he got divorced, and he didn't even get married again until he's outside of WWE. Then he got married again, and I hope he's happy with his new wife. Anyways, John Cena, number 2. Definitely one of the greatest baby faces. I don't care if he's hated by adult men. He was still a great baby face for the kids and for women. And my God, he made WWE probably between like 100 to 300 million in merchandise sales, I bet. Number 1, greatest babyface of all time. When it comes scratching down and it hurts inside. Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania, running wild, brother. What you gonna do? Mean Gene, when Hulkamania runs wild on you and destroys you. His promos were great. As a babyface, I loved his promos with Mean Gene. Seriously, he was hype. He was really hype with his promos. Never phoned him in. He was excited, and he got me excited as a kid. He's a reason I'm a wrestling fan. If it wasn't for me seeing Hulk Hogan for the first time on my TV, he got me hooked. I wouldn't be a fan. Seriously, I have many Hogan figures. This is a WCW one from '94. One of the greatest baby faces ever of all time. Was so loved in the 80s, was cheered like crazy, was never booed. Yeah, he got booed, I'd say, when he went to WCW as a face. He was booed a little bit, especially in '96. He started getting booed a lot. But that was because the wrestling fans were changing and didn't want to see red and yellow, good guy, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, Hogan anymore. The fans were changing in '96. And then he went from the greatest babyface, red and yellow, to NWO, Hollywood Hogan. He went from the greatest babyface to one of the greatest heels of all time. That's how great Hogan is. He's a great mind for the business. He knew he had to change with the times and go dark and go heel in black and white. And it was awesome. But this is top 10 baby faces. Nobody, my opinion, maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin was more over. But that was for a shorter period of time. I'd say Stone Cold was the most over 97 to 2003. Then he had to leave. Hogan was over from the time he's in the AWA in like 81, 82, 83. His whole run in the WWF, 84 to 93. He was the most over and greatest babyface of all time. Hulkamania, Hulk Hogan, number 1. Greatest babyface of all time in the red and yellow. And he probably, if Vern Gagne was smart, he would have been the most over, greatest babyface in the AWA if he could have stayed there his whole career. He probably would have. But AWA didn't have enough heels and enough talent to keep feeding Hulkamania. Hope you enjoy my top 10 greatest baby faces countdown. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Who are some of your greatest baby faces in wrestling that you have watched? Leave them in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye for now.